Kilarigbo Live TV.
Mohbad. We all are familiar with this case already. So my name is Nena Iwuchukwu. I represent myself. We all are familiar with this case already. And, there was a very huge outcry at the time here in Nigeria and in diaspora. And people were almost calling for the heads of these people, who we saw all over social media. It was going around that they were involved in this crime when Mohbad died. So eventually, we were told, because we don't know anything, we only go by what we're being told. Eventually, they were brought back from wherever they were perching outside the country. And eventually, the investigation started. It lasted for maybe like 1 month, and we were told again that they were on bail. They were not found guilty of anything. I would like to, if I'm allowed to, go back and rephrase the words of Mohbad. If anything happens to me, hold so people responsible. I don't want to call names. I'm not afraid to call names, but I don't want to call them because it's like stating the obvious. We already know what happened. No, everybody here is familiar with the case. Now, it seemed like eventually, after a month, these same people hit social media, flaunting themselves, holding their phones, saying things like, I don't know what that means. I'm Igbo. But, for me, what I understand is that is a way of bragging, and that really, really provokes my spirit, honestly. My Excellency, I want to remind you, about 3 years ago, I was on this same platform talking about how concerned I was about Sylvester Romani's case. And that really hit me hard. That incident really, really hit me hard. Because I remember after you left the building, I met you downstairs and you said to me, we're on this case. Don't worry, we're going to see to the end of it. And 3 years on, Sylvester Romani is supposed to be 15 years old, by the way, this month, because I've been following up on that case and nothing has been done. And to me, it's as good as dead. And because Sylvester Romani's case had a slap on the wrist, that is why Mohbad's own came to life. And I'm thinking, who's next? Okay, my governor, I'm sorry if I'm taking too much time, but I have to finish, I'm sorry. Please, my governor, you have the power to preside over the affairs of Lagos State, and everything reports to you. Everybody reports to you. Please, I ask you to please take this case as if Mohbad were your son. Because if it were so, everybody that had one contact or the other with this man would have been brought to book in one way or the other. I also want to mention that I know in functional countries, where they have good laws that bind them.
Security is not about emotion. It's serious business. I could remember I met you 3 years ago, like you said, there's no emotion. I'm standing in front of you, there's no emotion. It's not emotional, it's real. People get killed, people get maimed, we see it every day. I don't go to bed until 5 a.m. 3 days ago, I was just complaining. When we had the crash of a vehicle, of a lorry, that crashed into the other, nobody needs to video me, please. We're not joking here. I don't want to get emotional. We'll do the job, we'll do it well. These are police officers. The Mohbad case is still live. They're still treating it. We had to take the forensic out. The forensic that we built, that is the best in sub-Saharan Africa, was burned down during NSAS. We had to take the test out. They've done all their reports. Not until when it comes back that I can tie the two together. There are people that are in detention as we speak. They've not released them. Let's give little credit when it's necessary. Little credit, that's what we're saying. We don't need to come here and want to grandstand and make it look as if we can't speak back. We can. We are also human beings. Man, we're also human beings. We get to do this job with everything that we have. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And we can keep to it. 17 years ago, when we started, I was humbly privileged to have been the first acting chairman of the Security Trust Fund way back in 2007. And I'm indeed happy that all of the governors that have taken it up before me have kept with the faith of the fund. And so you can see that it is with a very warm heart that I want to welcome all of you to the 17th Town Hall meeting. Like I said, a tradition that started way back in 2007 to discuss and to review the performance of the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, a special purpose vehicle to finance security in the states. I want to acknowledge a retired commissioner of police because he worked with us in Lagos, at that time. And thank you very much. He's a special advisor to the governor of Oyo State. Thank you very, very, very much. Fatai Oseni, I remember Owosheni, I remember he as one of our very active CPs then. Thank you. He was a fine, fine, fine gentleman. Thank you very, very much for your work. We need to take time to celebrate our own because it's also not an easy job. It's not an easy job to do. Just yesterday, the Minister of State with the Inspector General of Police here also in VI, we all joined together to review community policing, to talk about the issues around community policing, and we spend adequate time, at a town hall meeting like this, where questions were asked, reports were given, and points were made as into how and why we have to ensure that we have an effective and an efficient community policing that is working. Today, again, is also security we're talking about, to be able to review all of the successes, the challenges that the Lagos State Security Trust Fund has witnessed in the last 1 year. And so you can see that very intentional in the last 2 days is all been around security and security challenges, that we have at the national level and also as a state. I want to commend the Honorable Minister because they believe that Lagos State was doing something unique and something specific around community policing. That's why their first conference around engaging subnationals on community policing, they brought it to Lagos yesterday, and I imagine it was a very fruitful and a very engaging session. They brought all of us out at the podium, and difficult questions were asked, and I imagine that everybody that came to that event left with a lot more information, with a lot more process. I think there's a gentleman that asked a question around here. There's a member of the, were you there yesterday? So you missed. That's why you asked some of the questions you asked. But I will answer your question. Thank you very much. And I want to thank you and everybody in the community policing committee that we have, both from the state level, the local government.
Kilarigbo Live TV.